it's an onion, it doesn't matter if it's a tomato. It's just insane. It should never be as high as it is.
Frustration over soaring food prices for these protesters from the Association of Community Organizations for Reform Now, gathering Saturday in front of Save on Foods in New Westminster. The group is calling on the federal government to put a cap on food prices. They're saying giant chain retailers have made unprecedented profits, and they want to put an end to food gouging.
I have $25 a week left for groceries.
Manipulative tactics that they are using to rob people of what they need to survive, food.
The protesters are also demanding all major food retailers in Canada to be taxed on their profits.
The overall Canadian market is dominated by three big chains, the Loblaws chain, of course, Sobeys and Metro. Then there are some smaller chains that control smaller pieces of the market. Save on Foods, part of the Pattison empire, is one of them.
Jim Stanford is an economist in Vancouver. He says there are several factors that have led to high food costs, including higher energy costs and oil prices. But that doesn't explain all the price increases.
The economic evidence is very clear that supermarket profits have risen dramatically. And in 2023, they hit their highest ever, $6.35 billion in after-tax profit.
Margins of the large grocers have primarily doubled in this country, and that is of concern.
On Tuesday, the federal government held a committee hearing on food prices.
50% of the market is controlled by three companies. That's the reality. So what we need is more competition.
Stanford suggests the Fed should implement a tax on excessive profits and redistribute the money back to Canadian consumers,
especially lower-income households. We have done that in other industries. For example, we have an excess profit tax on banks and insurance companies. That approach would also help, I think, to protect consumers against this excess profit.
We asked the Jim Pattison Food Group about its prices, and in a statement it says, in part, most of its produce are from the eastern part of Canada, and, quote, at one point, transportation of these products alone cost an additional $500,000 per week. Save on Foods is a regional grocer, and it doesn't have the scale or purchasing power of the major national and multinational grocers.
Use your heart. People should not be scrambling about, okay, how much food can I afford with what I have?
In New Westminster, Angela Bauer, City News.